Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rhonda Fair from Chiefman's Basket and Teach Kenneth. How you doing this morning? Here in London, Ontario, Canada, I haven't checked the temperature, but it is getting warm. That's right, it's getting warm. I'm looking outside and I'm seeing the people walk around with light jackets. Can't be too cold outside this morning. Hmm. You can turn that heat down, that's for sure. Talking about turning the heat down. That's something that we need to think about. So good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're across the universe. Let's not flip the script. I've seen that, the strongest and the hottest fires and stuff like that. But it is true. I mean, it depends on which direction we want to go, but it's also we don't want to flip the script on people. And that's what a lot of people do. And if anybody sees a book out there called Amazing Truths and How Science and the Bible Agree, I mean, I was blessed. I don't have to pay for it, but still, whoever has it, please return it back to the library in London, Ontario, Canada. Again, it's called Amazing Truths and How Science and the Bible Agree. It is a very good book. And so thank you for that. And also another thing is I want to share with you about don't want to flip the script. We want to be very careful because if we start flipping the script, we could cause a lot of problems. That's right, and we don't want to be doing that with anybody, especially if we're role playing and causing that problem. So again, we want to be careful. Let's look on for something. Here we go, because it has to do with Joe Navarro. Joe Navarro, oh, I love listening to him teach. And he teaches on drama queens, but he also teaches in people that are emotionally unstable. And you have to be aware of this, and you might work with someone who's in that way, and or being a drama queen, or maybe they're just great actors at doing it. Whatever it may be, I recall, oh, do you notice this is the only area that seems to have problems? That's because it was set up that way. Now, also with that, I mean, who puts all emotionally unstable people with you to work with? Interesting. Or when you're at someone's home, or if you're at school, or wherever you may be. Will you please be emotionally unstable today? And we want to see the reactions. We're using that person as a science project, okay? Yeah. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Um, Along with Joe Navarro talking about this in all seriousness, and we want to take it very serious because that song "Stuck on You," and you don't want to be stuck to someone by stalking them. And he talks about 6 months or more is very, very, very dangerous, and okay, we're getting into over 3 years, and it's called very, 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 very dangerous. It is an amazing truth. And it's not amazing being stalked for that long. It's, when we talk about the action is the vehicle of your behavior, and the action is the vehicle of our behaviors. And emotional reaction, it shows priorities, and emotion ties to our values. Yeah. And that's what he talks about. So if you're recognizing these patterns, and maybe you've reported it and nothing's done, you've got to remember that that person doesn't define you. That person in action does not see what they're doing, but we can see on the outside in. So again, an emotionally unstable person does need help. So if a person has stated to you they are going to kill themselves, please take that seriously and do go, well, I'm trying to protect the person. And, if the person, let's turn this back on because it's fully charged but keeps shutting down on me whatever is going on. I mean, it cost me $20. $20. But if someone states to you that they're going to kill themselves, please take that seriously. Don't leave it. Even if you're trying to protect a person from calling in, you think it's a horrible thing to do, you're not doing a horrible thing. You're protecting them. So again, if someone is at your home or has been at your home or you've got a message online, stuff like that, and remember, there's a lot of people out there copying our accounts. And I had some people clone my accounts, and they're role playing it's me, and it's not. So again, this person has a vendetta. This person is unstable, and this is called emotionally unstable. Stable, how people manipulate you. So if you recognize these patterns, or they talked about how they've harmed someone and they show no emotion, or don't seem to bother them, or if they're one moment in one way, what if you knew them? It's like the Bible. In the Bible, in the book, if I gave you one script or a verse and I told you this is what it means, and it sounded like what it means, but it's not what it means, that's the same with people. It maybe the person that's unstable now has been, and if you notice a pattern, because before you know they weren't. And usually this type of thing is always an ongoing thing. So if you knew the person wasn't and now is, you've got to find out why. So whom, what's going on. As I said, I'm a victim of a stalker, but the other ones that behaved this way did not behave this way until this happened. Okay, so it's something that Joe Navarro and Chase Hughes and talks about psychopaths, fear the truth, and how you can tell the difference between a psychopath versus you, and the emotionally unstable and the drama queens. So that's, you got to find out what's going on in the situation. Along with this, if a person is looking on the outside in and they're speaking this way, you know there's something seriously going on. Especially when they're talking about harming others and they show no big emotion at all. It's not a big deal. It's like eating a sandwich. Or if they have these certain smirky faces. Chase Hughes is the best interpreter of face expressions. I can give you one I've shared. He showed a psychopath face when you mirror, and when you look in the mirror, and a person's trying to take on everybody else's emotions, and what that psychopath is going through, an antisocial personality disorder. Again, they do this in acting when they do movies and stuff too. But if you're recognizing these patterns, I've heard people talk about it, and you should never leave it go. I had a man message me and tell me he wants to kill himself because a girl had left him. And when I was younger, there was 3 men. These were all men. One hung himself. No, 2 hung himself. One in his basement. One in his parents' garage. And the other one shot himself. And this was over a girl. And I was a teenager when this all happened, and they all happened. These men were older, a lot older than us. They were between 4 to 10 years older than us, and the women were my age. Girls, when they're young teenagers, are not going to be ready then to be getting into stuff like that. Men, gentlemen, they're not worth it. You have to know you matter. There is someone out there that will be equally yoked with you. Do not take your life for someone else. And if someone is talking about taking their life, please report it. Please. There could be something going on in their home. Or you could be trapped in someone's life who uses that to manipulate you. And that's where you come into the unstableness in people. Or if you notice a pattern of, okay, there's different ways of looking at it. Like I said, if you knew before they weren't doing it and they're doing it now, then there's something going on. But if they're always doing it, you always look at all this.
Power off.
Sorry, because this thing just does what it wants.
Power on.
But what I'm saying is, to unlock the reasonings, the universe is within the mind. Unlock that reasoning. So, also, if a person or a child is walking on eggshells, maybe you've seen patterns where the person seems pretty stable for a moment as long as you're feeding them what they want to hear, but they're still radically high. But it's not as high as when you see them become emotionally unstable, when they don't like to hear what they don't want to hear. Then they will become a drama queen. And that's where the emotionally unstable comes in with that. So be careful with that. When you have noticed all these patterns, or you've noticed at home or work or school or out and around, if you hear any of these danger signs, I had a woman, there was another woman over at Cherry Hill, and she is in a chair, and I was sitting with her, and we were having lunch. And this other two ladies were sitting by us, and the one woman was treating her mother like she was a complete stupid moron and treated her abusively. And the mother of that child was very scared, very timid. She goes, I'm trying to get it right, I'm trying to get it right. But she couldn't see and she couldn't understand what her daughter was saying. And I had to take action in on that. I could not leave it go. I seen this woman, and she was scared of her daughter. Are you one of them? Anyway, I went and I spoke to her, and I let her know we've been listening and how terrible it is to disrespect your mother, to treat her like she is trash, that she's beneath you. And I said, can your mother see what you're showing her? You're showing her mathematics that she probably has never seen before, and you're going on and on. Do you realize how you're putting her down and disrespecting her? And everyone at the mall heard her in the eating area. Yet everybody watched and listened, did nothing. I got up there and says, you owe her apology, and you need to start respecting your mother, or I'm going to report it. Anyway, I went over to the other woman that I was eating with, and she says, good, I heard it all. And then I went back, oh, the mother came over to me. She told the mother to come over and thank me. She made the mother come over and thank me. And I says, and apologize to me. And I says, for one, I says, ma'am, you don't have to thank me for anything. And an apology? You have done nothing wrong. And your daughter has no right to make you come over here and do this. This is controlling. This is abuse. And it could be happening right beside you. By the way, this was at Cherry Hill Mall. More and more security are stepping in over there as it needs to be. You need to respect your parents. And when you say to them, you need to respect your parent, you need to respect them. You don't treat them like trash. Do I make myself clear? You are not above anyone else. And you're not high enough to look down on anyone else. And if you think that, then you need some serious counseling. You need some serious counseling, whether you like it or not. Any of us behave that way, need some counseling. And there's only one creator that can change your heart. I don't know what's going on inside the person's heart. And you don't know what's going on inside my heart. But I know when there's abuse, when I see abuse, it's abuse. And when you start putting drama queens and psychopaths, emotionally unstable people manipulating other people, we need to speak up and protect instead of ignoring it. Or whipping things when you're at work or doing whatever. Or if your children are walking on eggshells because they don't know how you're going to behave when you wake up in the morning. Or what you're going to do.
Power off.
That is really bad.
Power on.
Your children should never, ever wake up feeling like they're walking on eggshells. Nor should you scheme and manipulate because you didn't get what you want and make text messages and phone calls to other people to gaslight. Shame on you. This is where all of us, should stand forward and up against the abuse and bullying. If you think you're so high above, you cast the first stone. You do not sin. If I wanted to, I could throw all your sin out there. But you know what? I've sinned. I'm a sinner. But God forgiven mine. Has He forgiven yours? And the only way out is to do what's right. And it's called humbleness, removing the pride. And when I see this, and Chase has shown me picture, like when I seen it, I snapshot it. And when Joe Navarro was stating about being stalked from 6 months on, how serious that is, try 3 years or more. What about the difference between a psychopath and yourself? I'm just learning. I mean, but when I see things in action, and I see these patterns, or why is it certain people, wherever you work, will say, don't you notice that this area is the worst? You know why? Because it's set up. It was placed that way. When someone has a vendetta and they have the power and money and jealousy, they will do this just to see your reaction, see what you're going to do, and they're gaslighting. It's time to stand forth against bullying and all this abuse, because our children are our future and they matter. So again, are you the vehicle of emotional reactions that shows priorities? Are your emotions tied to your values, and action is the vehicle of your behavior, and what behavior are we doing? All of us fall short, but dang it, we can't keep using that for an excuse. That is the same thing as going back and eating your own vomit. To know that we all matter. You know, I think that the song, another man came in and sang, I share, singing's fun. My singing's fun. You know, it's fun. You know, it talks about getting your feet flat, your feet grounded. And being grounded is important in balance. But if you're in a way, there's nothing wrong with getting help. I've gone to get help for a lot of things. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't make you strange or weird or bad. You know, there's people with shell shock, and, you know, it's God's healing. There's no human being that can fix that. But there's nothing wrong with talking about it. Or do you feel too prideful to? No. They're not going to run and throw you on medications and everything. I know a lot of people fear stuff like that. And all you have to do is say no. But just if you've got a friend or someone you just need to talk to. And there's people that will use you, keep you anonymous and talk to you on the phone. If you've been abused or you are the abuser, there is help. Again, the bullying has to stop, and it won't completely stop because of the fallen world. But it's because of choices. It's because of choices. But if you recognize this, that somebody says they're going to hurt themselves, or you put so much fear in them and scared the hell out of them, which I've seen, shameful is he. And God does not shame. But you shamed yourself by doing this to the other person. You have no right. You have no right to shame anybody. But you're the only one that doesn't smell. Think about that. You know, I've had someone come in and message under my post. That's a worshiper of the sun, not the S-O-N. When people are set in their ways, God can change the heart. And we don't know what's going on inside that person's heart. There could be bitterness and anger and frustration, and there is a way out. But when you oppress other people, and go
Power
around
on.
harming them and scaring the hell out of them
Bluetooth mode.
and place them in that position where they're so scared. You ever do that to my children ever again or near them? Or my grandchildren? You're dealing with a child of God. And I don't do vengeance, but I will not friend you. Not that you care. Because love builds, love nourishes, love protects. Love is giving, love is nurturing, love is caring. But you have to be willing to receive that. Nobody could force that love on you. And they should never force it or make somebody stay in their life. Love is protection. Love is grand. Love does not mean throw you in the pit and fire. That's flipping the doctrine. That is a parable. Just to know that you matter, unfolding the truth of freedom. And God bless you. Take care.